Have you ever gone to bed early thinking you'd wake up refreshed, only to open your eyes, feeling just as tired or even worse? If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. Many of us as we get older find that sleep becomes less restful, less predictable, and a lot more frustrating. Even when we do everything right, avoiding coffee at night, taking our pills, climbing into bed at a decent hour, sleep can still slip through our fingers. And it's not just annoying. Poor sleep affects everything, our mood, memory, balance, and even how fast we age. But here's the good news. There are 6 quiet, often overlooked mistakes many people over 60 make that can drain our energy without us realizing it. And better still, these are mistakes we can gently fix without pills and without turning life upside down, because you deserve deep, refreshing sleep. Let's begin this journey together. Mistake number 1, irregular sleep schedules. Let's start with something that seems small but makes a world of difference, your sleep schedule. Now, think of your body like a garden. There's a natural rhythm to it. Sunrises and sunsets, seasons coming and going. Your body follows a rhythm, too, called the circadian rhythm. It's like an internal clock gently guiding when you should be awake and when you should be resting. But when we go to bed at different times, every night, sometimes at 9 p.m., sometimes at midnight, sometimes we nap through the evening and then can't sleep at all. It's like changing the time zone on your body's clock every other day. Your brain gets confused. It doesn't know when to release melatonin, the hormone that makes you sleepy. It doesn't know when to help you feel alert. Over time, this confusion can lead to daytime fatigue, irritability, or even depression. It's also connected to things we often think are just part of aging, like forgetfulness or feeling sluggish. But the truth is, these can improve when sleep improves. Take George, for example, a retired school principal in Arizona. He used to stay up late watching reruns of old westerns. Some nights he'd doze off in the recliner at 8 p.m., and other nights he was wide awake till 1 a.m. The next day he never felt quite right. His doctor didn't find anything serious, but George just didn't feel like himself. It wasn't until he started keeping a regular bedtime aiming for 10:30 every night with a consistent wake-up time of 7 that things began to shift. Within a few weeks, he said, "I didn't know how foggy I'd become until I started feeling clear." Again, consistency isn't about being rigid. It's about gently guiding your body back into its natural rhythm. And it's never too late to begin. Here's how you can help reset your clock. Choose a bedtime and wake time that feel natural and realistic. Try to keep them the same, even on weekends. Your body thrives on predictability. And in the mornings, try to get some light on your face within the first hour of waking, whether it's standing by a sunny window or stepping out onto the porch for a few breaths of fresh air. That morning light helps anchor your internal clock. Creating a little pre-sleep routine can help too. Maybe you read a calming book, listen to soft music, or have a warm cup of non-caffeinated tea. These gentle signals tell your brain, it's time to rest now. So ask yourself, are your bedtimes shifting too much? Are you drifting through days and nights without a rhythm? If so, you can gently begin again. Your body remembers how to sleep. It just needs the chance to get back on track. Now that we've got timing down, let's talk about what might be stealing your sleep after dark. Mistake number 2, too much screen time. Before bed. These days, it's not uncommon to see our fellow aunties and uncles scrolling through phones or watching TV well into the night. It's become our evening company, the news a favorite show, or a game on the tablet. But there's something about those glowing screens that can sneakily keep us awake longer than we mean to. You see, screens, whether from a television, phone, tablet, or computer, give off a type of light called blue light. And blue light sends a signal to the brain that it's daytime. Even if it's 10 o'clock at night, your eyes and brain are being told, stay alert. Don't release melatonin yet. And here's the thing. As we age, our eyes become more sensitive to this light. Even smaller exposures can affect our sleep more than when we were younger. Linda, a retired nurse from Michigan, once told me how she used to play solitaire on her iPad every night in bed. Just one game, she'd say. But one game turned into an hour, and she noticed she had more trouble falling asleep. When she finally put the tablet away, her mind still buzzed. Her sleep felt restless. Once she learned about blue light, she started a new habit: no screens an hour before bed. Instead, she colored in adult coloring books and listened to soft jazz on the radio. Within 2 weeks, she noticed she was falling asleep faster and staying asleep longer. So, what can we do? First, try setting a tech curfew. An hour before bedtime, put the screens away. Instead, opt for quiet, screen-free activities, reading a physical book, doing a puzzle, journaling, or just sitting quietly with a warm drink and your thoughts. If you do need to use a screen, try dimming the brightness or turning on night mode, which gives off warmer light. Some devices also offer blue light filters, but even with these, the stimulation, the content itself can still keep your brain too active. Remember, our bodies aren't just reacting to light. They're reacting to stories, news, and games that get our minds racing. And racing minds have a hard time falling into restful sleep. So, take it slow. Try a few screen-free nights and see how you feel. With your nights getting darker and calmer, it's time to look at daytime habits, starting with napping. Mistake number 3. Napping too long or too late. Naps can be wonderful, can't they? There's something so comforting about dozing off in the afternoon sun, maybe with the hum of the TV in the background, or a book half finished in your lap. Many of us grew up seeing our parents or grandparents take a little siesta after lunch, and now we find ourselves doing the same. And naps can be healthy. In fact, our bodies have a natural dip in energy in the early afternoon, usually between 1 and 3 p.m. That's why you might feel drowsy after lunch. It's not laziness, it's biology. But here's the trick. If we nap too long or too late in the day, it can backfire. Instead of helping, it throws off our ability to fall asleep at night. You might have noticed this yourself. An hour-long nap at 5 p.m. might feel good in the moment, but come bedtime, you're wide awake, staring at the ceiling. There's a sweet spot for naps. Experts often call it a power nap, just 20 to 30 minutes, ideally before 3 p.m. That's just enough to refresh the brain without sinking into a deeper sleep cycle that can leave you groggy or disrupt your nighttime rest. Take Ray, a retired postal worker from Georgia. He loved his post-lunch naps, sometimes clocking in a full hour and a half right in his recliner. But he started noticing a pattern after his long naps. He couldn't fall asleep at night until well after midnight. Then the next morning, he was sluggish again, and so the cycle continued. Once he shortened his naps to 25 minutes and kept them earlier in the day, things changed. "I didn't think such a small change could make such a big difference," he said. But it really did. Where you nap can matter too. Napping in a cozy chair rather than a bed helps keep the nap light. Beds tend to invite deeper sleep, which we want to save for nighttime. If you find yourself napping every day for over an hour or feeling more tired after napping, it could be your body's way of saying your nighttime sleep isn't restorative. In those cases, it's worth looking a little deeper, and we'll get to that later. But for most of us, a mindful nap can be a gift. Just remember the 3 keys. Keep it short, keep it early, and keep it light. Now, great naps help, but what about what we eat and drink as bedtime approaches? That's where we turn next. Mistake number 4, eating or drinking. Too late. Food is a comfort, and for many of us, it's also a form of connection. A late-night snack while watching TV, a warm drink before bed, a shared dessert with a loved one. These small rituals often carry a sense of peace. But as we age, our digestion changes, and eating too close to bedtime or choosing the wrong things to consume can quietly chip away at the quality of our sleep. You see, after around age 60, our metabolism naturally slows down. That means it takes longer for our bodies to process food. If we eat a heavy meal or snack late in the evening, our body is still working hard to digest while we're trying to fall asleep. And that internal activity can prevent us from entering the deep restorative stages of rest. And then there's acid reflux, something many of our uncles and aunties deal with more frequently as the years go on. Lying down soon after eating can cause stomach acid to creep up into the esophagus, leading to that familiar burning sensation, or cough, that wakes us in the night. Caffeine and alcohol deserve a special mention too. Caffeine, even in the afternoon, can linger in the system much longer than we expect. That 4 p.m. cup of coffee might still be affecting your brain come bedtime. And alcohol, while it might help you fall asleep faster, often disrupts the quality of sleep, causing more wake-ups and less time spent in the deep stages your body truly needs. And then there's water. Staying hydrated is essential, no doubt about that. But drinking large amounts late in the evening might have you waking up multiple times to use the bathroom. If that sounds familiar, it might help to shift more of your fluid intake to earlier in the day and taper off in the evening. But we don't have to go to bed hungry either. For many of us, a small, thoughtfully chosen snack can actually help promote sleep. The key is to keep it light and include ingredients that support relaxation. A few examples: a small banana with a spoonful of peanut butter, a handful of almonds, half a slice of whole grain toast, a little warm milk if your stomach tolerates it. Nora, a retired piano teacher from Oregon, struggled for years with falling asleep. She was careful about everything: no caffeine, dim lights, quiet evenings. But it wasn't until her doctor asked about her dinner time that something clicked. She had been eating dinner late, often after 8 p.m., and then heading to bed at 10. Once she shifted her meals to earlier in the evening and added a light snack at 9, she began sleeping better. It felt like magic, she said. But really, it was just my body finally getting what it needed. So, ask yourself gently, are you eating or drinking too close to bedtime? Could shifting your habits even by an hour make a difference? As we honor our body's changes with age, we can make small, graceful adjustments and feel the rewards in every part of our lives. Even with perfect timing and diet, though, there's one more place we need to look: the room you sleep in, because your environment can make or break your rest. Let's step into the bedroom. Mistake number 5, neglecting your sleep environment. Let's walk into your bedroom for a moment, not just physically, but in your imagination. How does it feel when you step inside? Is it quiet, cool, peaceful? Or is there light creeping through the curtains, the hum of appliances, or perhaps a bed that doesn't quite feel like home anymore? Many people in our age group don't realize just how much their sleep environment can influence the quality of their rest. It's not just about being in bed. It's about how that space supports the deep healing sleep our bodies crave. First, let's talk about temperature. As we age, we become more sensitive to extremes: too hot and we toss and turn, too cold and we wake up stiff. The ideal bedroom temperature for sleep is usually between 60 and 67 degrees Fahrenheit. That cool environment signals to the body that it's time to wind down. A small fan or a cracked window can help regulate the air if you tend to run warm. Then there's light. Even the smallest sliver of light from a street lamp outside, a blinking device, or an early sunrise can disturb the brain's melatonin production. Blackout curtains can be a gentle solution. If you need a nightlight for safety during bathroom trips, try one that gives off red or amber light, which is less disruptive than blue or white light. Noise plays a role too. Some people sleep best in complete silence. Others find that the absence of sound makes small creaks or distant barking stand out even more. In those cases, soft background noise, like a white noise machine, a fan, or even gentle nature, sounds can create a cocoon of calm. And then, of course, there's your mattress and pillows. Many of us have slept on the same bed for years, sometimes decades, without realizing how much it's changed. A sagging mattress or flat pillow can lead to backaches, neck pain, and restless tossing. If your bed leaves you waking up sore, it might be time for an upgrade. There are wonderful options now made, especially with senior comfort in mind, with better support for joints, cooling fabrics, and adjustable firmness. Don't forget about your sheets either. Soft, breathable fabrics like cotton or bamboo can make a big difference, especially if you tend to get warm at night. Keep extra blankets nearby so you can adjust as needed without having to get out of bed. And perhaps most importantly, let your bedroom be a sanctuary, a place associated only with rest, not stress. Try to avoid working, eating, or even arguing in bed. Your brain picks up on those associations. The more your mind links the bedroom with peace and sleep, the easier rest will come. Jeanette, a widow from Vermont, once shared how she transformed her room after struggling with insomnia. "I took everything out except my lamp, a book, and a diffuser. She said, I got new curtains, washed my bedding with lavender, and started treating my bedroom like a retreat. After that, I started looking forward to bedtime, and my body followed." So, take a moment to look around your space. What small changes might help you feel more at ease? Now we've looked at habits, food, and environment, but sometimes sleep troubles go deeper and aren't just about routine. That brings us to one of the most important and often overlooked truths. Mistake number 6. Ignoring sleep disorders. Sometimes, no matter how well we eat, how quiet our bedrooms are, or how steady our sleep routines become, something still feels off. We go to bed tired and wake up tired. We lie awake for hours, or we fall asleep, only to wake up gasping or feeling panicked. And here's the truth. Many of us were never told. Some sleep problems aren't just about habits, they are medical conditions, and too often we ignore them. That's not because we're careless, it's because we've spent a lifetime being tough. Many of our generation were raised to push through, to keep going, no matter what. We may tell ourselves, it's just aging, or it's not that bad. But sleep disorders are real, and they can quietly impact our health in ways we don't see at first. Let's talk about a few of the most common ones, starting with sleep apnea. Sleep apnea is a condition where a person stops breathing briefly but repeatedly while sleeping. It can happen dozens, even hundreds of times a night. Often people with sleep apnea snore loudly or gasp for air in their sleep, though not always. What it always does, though, is disturb the quality of sleep. Even if you don't wake up fully, your brain is being shaken out of deep sleep over and over again. Over time, untreated sleep apnea can raise blood pressure, increase the risk of heart disease, and even affect memory and mood. But many people live with it for years, unaware. James, a retired firefighter from Colorado, used to nap every afternoon and still wake up tired. His wife finally mentioned that he'd stopped breathing in the night. He was skeptical, but a sleep study confirmed moderate sleep apnea. Once he started using a CPAP machine, a small device that gently keeps the airway open, his energy came back. It was like I got my life back. He said, "I didn't know how bad it had gotten until it got better." Then there's insomnia, perhaps the most familiar sleep complaint of all. But real insomnia isn't just the occasional restless night. It's a pattern of struggling to fall asleep or stay asleep night after night for weeks or months. And here's the thing, many older adults don't talk about it. They assume it's part of aging, or they fear being put on sleep medications they don't want. But there are gentle, effective treatments out there, like CBT, or cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia. It doesn't involve medication. It's a kind of sleep coaching that helps retrain the brain to sleep more naturally. For many people, it works better than pills, and the effects last longer. Let's not forget restless leg syndrome, RLS, a condition that causes an uncomfortable urge to move your legs, usually in the evening, or just as you're falling asleep. It can feel like tingling, itching, or even a crawling sensation. And it's not in your head. It's a recognized neurological condition that can be deeply disruptive. Left untreated, RLS can make it hard to get the deep sleep your brain and body need. There are treatments for all of these conditions, medications, lifestyle changes, and therapies that can make a world of difference. But first, we have to recognize them. We have to listen to our bodies. Sometimes the first step is as simple as talking to your doctor. Mention what you're experiencing, even if it feels small. Tell them about the tiredness, the waking up in the night, the snoring, the odd feelings in your legs. Keep a little sleep journal, if that helps. Write down when you go to bed, when you wake, how you feel during the day. Too many of us suffer quietly, but the truth is sleep disorders aren't something to be ashamed of. They're incredibly common, especially after 60, and they're treatable. Annie, a grandmother in Texas, lived with insomnia for years. She'd try everything: warm, milk, white noise, over-the-counter pills. Nothing seemed to work. She thought she was just a bad sleeper. But when she finally spoke to her doctor, she was referred to a sleep specialist who gently helped her unravel the real issues. They found a combination of anxiety and an undiagnosed mild sleep apnea. Within 3 months of treatment, Annie was sleeping 6 to 7 hours straight. "I didn't know sleep could feel this good," she said. "You deserve to feel that way too." So, if you've tried all the healthy habits and still feel tired, if your nights are restless despite your best efforts, it may be time to go a little deeper, because deep healing sleep isn't just a luxury, it's part of health, and you're worth that care. So, let's gently look back at where we've been. We explored the 6 most common sleep mistakes many of us make in our later years, not out of neglect, but simply because no one ever taught us otherwise. Irregular sleep schedules. too much screen time before bed, napping too long or too late, eating or drinking too close to bedtime, overlooking our sleep environment, and perhaps most importantly, ignoring sleep disorders that truly need our attention. But the beautiful truth is, that small changes can bring big relief. Maybe tonight you pick just one habit to shift. That's enough to begin. Because better sleep means better days, more energy, more laughter, a clearer mind, and the strength to enjoy life as fully as you deserve. So, please be kind to yourself. Be curious. Take that next step. If this video helped, give it a like, subscribe for more thoughtful senior health tips, and share it with someone you care about. Your journey to better sleep starts now. Sweet dreams.